Comers, and welcome back, my fellow Aeternians. As always, it is me, Emperor AP, and today we are working on recycling around 200 vape pens. Now, we probably aren't going to get to every single one of these today, but we are certainly going to try. I've been moving a lot faster recently, but if you want to see the purpose for us recycling these vape pens, you should go and check out one of our previous videos we have on these vape pens. But that being the case, we are getting these out of the landfills. We're getting these out of places that can do harm. They have these batteries in them that can, explode, be dangerous, and catch fire. So these single-use disposable vape pens, super bad for the environment, super bad for your health. And so we are recycling them and going to be improving their functionality. Ooh, great to see everybody. USSS says, hello, comrade. Great to see you, USSS. Syrup says, I can really stick around today. Fish is staying here. My Wi-Fi is bad, so it's laggy. That's all right. I may not be on Wi-Fi. In fact, I'm not on Wi-Fi. Let me go ahead and set up Wi-Fi so that maybe it's a little clearer for you guys. James said, welcome, James. Thank you for being here. Everybody, let me know if it continues to be laggy. I just hopped on to our Wi-Fi, so that should help. That all being the case, great to see everybody. Sorry guys, just reconnected there to the Wi-Fi, so I think we should be set up a little better now. Let me know if you can see all right. Let me know if you can hear me all right. And thank you guys for liking. I see we've got 1 or 2 likes there. And let me see if there's any more big comments before we jump. Oh goodness, keep lagging out. Let me see what's going on. All right, we're set up on Wi-Fi. Hopefully things work all right. If it keeps lagging, I'll probably jump back to just my data, but let's see. Homeland's going insane. What's going on, Homeland? Good to see you. Hope everything's okay with you in your neck of the woods. Syrup says, I can see and hear fine. The weather in Fishistan is trash. I'm sorry to hear. So maybe that does have something to do with it. For some reason, we're getting your bad luck over here. Not with the weather necessarily. It's a little gloomy here, but more so with the internet connection. So between two of us, maybe we can make one working internet connection. But that being the case, I'm going to use of your time or efforts. I personally don't vape consistently, but goodness, okay, our internet is being absolutely trashed. So let me see if Wi-Fi is going to be worse when we go ahead. But maybe it'll be more stable. James said buffering is still an issue, but the image quality is great now. We're going to try the inverse, horrible image quality, but potentially a better connection. Hope you're doing well, James. Thank you for being here. Again, probably a little bit slower, but a more stable connection, hopefully. Again, thank you guys for liking the video. Right now, we're going to go ahead and get started with taking some of these apart. Again, I do not recommend that anybody vapes. It's not healthy. It's not good for you. We have recycled these from other vapors, not ourselves. I have been known to vape in the past, although I never got super into it. And anything you smoke is going to be real bad for your health, so don't do it. That all being the case, health rant over. We are getting into this. One of the first things, I tried to pick one that I thought was going to be easy to get into, and I'm having more difficulty than I thought. I can normally brace it against the surface. Syrup says in Fishistan we banned it. Fantastic. Well, any that you confiscate, any that are considered contraband there in Fishistan, you can definitely send our way, and we will dispose of them properly. We will get rid of them for you guys. That being the case, I'm going to go ahead and try maybe what'll be a little bit of an easier one, and we'll come back to one of the harder ones. So let's see if we can do this. One of the things that is interesting about these that you really need to be careful with, I also don't recommend just everybody try to do these recyclings either. A lot of these materials that we deal with are a little bit dangerous. With, for example, the cans that we've worked with previously, they're a little dangerous because you need to wear, some equipment to make sure that you don't get scratched up or cut up or banged up. These are particularly dangerous for a number of reasons. One, if you don't know who you're getting them from, you're just dealing with something that's been on somebody's mouth. That's, you're dealing with something that has potentially a lot of germs on it. So you want to be careful there. You don't want to get sick. You don't want to get other people sick. You don't want to, harm yourself in some way. Another thing is they have very dangerous components. Like I said, These things have lithium-ion batteries in them, which can be dangerous. They can explode on you. They can cause you a lot of problems. They can catch fire. So just better to be careful in general. James said, Zavadia is celebrating their 1-year micronational Independence Day today. Hey, congratulations, Zavadia. If you're in, good to see you. If not, I hope you catch the video later because we're excited for you. Arthur says, I love you. Appreciate it, Arthur. Thank you so much. Good to see you. And I'm glad that you're here with us. I saw your, I'm not sure if you caught my comment. I saw your video that you made for us. Thank you so much for making that. It means a lot. It was a cool edit. And I can't wait to see more if you come out with more edits. Right now, I'm going to sit down right here, a little ways away from the camera, just to see if I can brace myself and get into this first vape pen that I'm working with. Worst comes to worst, we're going to step it down even more and go to a super easy game vape pen. But I figured this one would be reasonable enough for me to get into. But of course, like anything else, you do something by yourself, you get decent at it, and then you try to practice it in front of other people, and your plan goes out the window. So I am going to try potentially an easier one. This one I think just pops straight off the bottom. So we'll check that out just to, yep, instant win. Cool. Okay. Gonna go easier to hard, it looks like. So what we're gonna do, I'm gonna finish taking the guts out of this guy, and then we're gonna put it to the side. Very similarly to how we did our previous recycling videos with the cans. We're probably not going to go ahead and, completely disassemble the vape pen into all the components that we want. Instead, I'm just going to get them into a form that we can do like a step 2 and recycle them more completely later on. That way we get through more of these in the video and people can see what the value of that looks like, what the actual benefit there is. So I've gotten this into a form where I can easily pull it out just to show you guys the insides of one of these because they look kind of cool. Again, don't recommend vaping, but they have, a lot of them have these like LCD circuits on them. Which is what gives you your screen and your buttons and everything. Right here is actually the little button that, somebody hits it and the thing starts and turns on, and that's how people smoke with it. And then, of course, you have this battery in here. Again, all very dangerous. This is where the gross, nasty stuff is. You want to, again, I do not recommend anybody messes with these, but if you do, you definitely want to wear gloves. If you ever had the situation of one breaking on you or something like that, try to find the nearest set of gloves. As well, the juice for these things is super concentrated, the thing that people smoke out of them. And it is super, super gross, super, super sticky, super, super smelly. It will stain your hands and make it incredibly hard to clean off that smell. So like when you go to eat or something next time, that smell will be on your hands. And even if it's like fruity bubble gum or whatever, it's going to be absolutely disgusting when you go to do anything else. So do not recommend that. 10 out of 10, a bad time. I am going to continue on this though. We are trudging forward with the 10 out of 10 bad time, just so that we can continue to get these again into maybe a little more usable a form. I'm actually going to create 2 different bags here because I just realized I'm throwing my trash in the same bag as my, next collected pieces. So I'm going to go ahead and start separating out our trash and moving forward. All right, we've gotten 2 semi worked on so far. We're going to go ahead and try for 3. Again, I'm going to go easier to harder on these because I want to get through a few on stream. There we go. Okie doke. So then, just go ahead and process this one a little bit more. That way we can add the rest to our trash pile. Stick this guy off to the side. And we continue on. Gotten now onto 4. So we're about to have 4 and move forward, so to speak. Let me see here. Yep. Cool. And moving forward again, let's see. Gonna go with this one this time. Also, I am curious as to how this is going to work in YouTube's algorithm. It is something that I'm sure they definitely don't want to promote because of the subject matter, but I don't know if the algorithm's actually going to like really hard decline us or not. Ooh, good to see. It looks like it's up and down. James said he really should wear a face mask. Agreed. That is a good point, James. Just for additional safety, I probably should. That being the case, I have not. I could go get one. I suppose I will. To promote additional safety, the one thing that's going to be interesting is I won't be able to speak at all, which will be fine. Better safe than sorry. But it'll be interesting because I'm going to come in a pretty serious I don't know. I might be able to just get like an N95 or something. But the thing that I was thinking about going get is that like an actual like a welding mat, not a welding helmet, but the filters, like the actual masks with the filters that people use for like sanding or use for metalworking, things like that, that we have for exactly that purpose. So that was my original thought process. Let's see how well that would go. So yeah, I will probably go grab that and be back. One moment, everybody. I'm gonna use your audio. Talk loud enough. Okay, if I can find a way to set you guys are not cooperating with me. Okay, here we go. Be right back. Yeah. Hello, everybody. Hope you guys can hear me. James, you wanted it. You got it. Got a mask. This is going to be interesting. I wonder if you guys are going to be able to hear me at all. We will find out. Here is the mask. It has been tested previously in welding attempts. So we're going to see how well it works for this purpose. I'm sure this is overkill. I probably just need like a little N95 or something. But even still, we will try this out. Form over fashion for sure. What up, James? I hope you guys can hear me through this. This is going to be interesting. Okay. Goodness. James says he's going to get exposed to nicotine. James, I agree. That's not... Personally, I think I've just been exposed to worse stuff. James saying I'm not using the right mask for this is probably 100% accurate. Metalworking mask stuff hitting you, they do not filter the air. No, this filters the air. Filter actually, like probably not small enough to stop 15 particles, but it won't be hard to stop those, even if I wear like another type of mask. We're going to deal with this for a little bit. At a certain point, I might just have to take it off again because honestly, I don't know about it.
but we will see. Going with another fairly easy here. Okay, got this guy out. Throw the parts away we don't need, keep the parts we do. Keep moving forward. Let me know if you guys can hear me, because I can hear me, but it's very muffled. Okay, moving forward. I sound like wheezy Darth Vader out here. I sound like that animal from Toy Story, the like Slinky or whatever that has the asthma. Or is it the T-Rex? I forget. But I sound like one of them. I sound like the wheezy. I think it's the Slinky, right? Who's like coughing all the time. That's me out here with this mask. Absolutely insane. But I think James is right. Better to be safe than sorry in any situation. If you think you need a mask, if you think you need some personal protective equipment, even if you don't, better safe than sorry. So thank you, James, for the point out for how to do this a little bit more appropriately. Legitimate, genuine benefit. Oh, goodness. I'm kicking stuff around. Ugh. And also, a great benefit of having citizens in general. People to tell you when there's a better way to do things. People to point out when you made a mistake. And people to learn from. People to make friends with. People to grow with. So, great question. James, if you don't mind answering AC's question, I would appreciate it. But this is the arrow of progress. It guides us. Moves us forward. We are the Empire of Aeternia, a micronation. And we are recycling vape pens today. So here we go. Continuing trying to recycle over 200 of them, actually. And turn them into a valuable asset for our empire. Da-da-da. Da-da-da-da. Da-da-da. I'm going to go to a harder one now because I'm not finding as many of the easy ones. Let's see how it goes. Not great is the answer. Okay. Oh goodness, I'm losing pieces. I got a runaway piece. And it's a gross, sticky piece too. Not a good combo. Okay, so I got into this one a little bit, but I'm not where I need to be. So I got to figure out some better method. See, yeah, there we go. Need this thing to be as wide as possible. I probably shouldn't push on the table. Going back to the easy ones. I'm retreating again. Let's try one of these. We're going to find a type that is more easy to open on this stream. And we will do those. And eventually we will get to the harder challenges. The other night I was doing some of these and I was like moving through all different types. And now I'm getting camera shy, I guess, because man, I am not doing as good as I was the other night with some of these. But they're also just like tricky because there's like multiple steps to doing the harder ones. You really got to be able to like actually get underneath certain little plastic pieces that are kind of covered up from each other, which is honestly like an important thing anyway. You don't want people to just be able to like pop open vape pens and get to stuff like this that's dangerous. exactly like I am doing. So maybe this is also a tip to vape manufacturers to step their game up and fix their products. Okay. Don't do it. Oh said I'd smoke them. Waste of a good vape. Oh, these are gross. These are from random strangers. Oh, don't do it to yourself. You should have higher self-esteem than to do that. Oh, I believe in you. Don't poison yourself with the ills of the masses. Take it. Don't do it. You deserve better. Okay, we've got another that we've taken apart. Okay. Now, again, probably going to go for some easier ones here, then work to the harder ones later. This one may not be too bad. We're going to try it. I don't know about this one. I thought. I really did. Okay, let me try one more attempt. From this side, nope. Okay. Going back to easy mode. Coming for us. Don't let them stop. Coming for us. Don't let them stop the stream. We're having stream lag difficulties. If you care about the future health of the nation and also hearing me talk like a wheezy Toy Story Disney character, definitely stick around. Help us to promote the stream by liking it as we recycle things that are bad for people's health so that they don't keep it in their landfills, which will keep it going into their waterways and into their lungs and into their children's lungs. We will strive for better. There we go. Got another one. Although I ripped out more wiring than I thought I would. All right. Here's another one. Roll out and get something out. I recommend touching stranger vape, but also sounding like this. Got another one. All right. No. On easy mode was the root of the stream. Another one. Another one. Okay. And they're cutting me out. Hey, try again. Jumping back. Hey, James says streams are dying. Yeah, it's an issue. For sure. Just try to connect to Wi-Fi, so I'm sure there will be another stream cut out. But let me know, guys. I'm going to see what I can do to help boost it a little bit. Let's see. Okay, we're connected to Wi-Fi now, so maybe this will be an improvement. Let's see how it goes. All right. Which one's next? Going to this one. We're going to kick that stream back up. Everybody who's been here, everybody who's been stream loyal, let's get the stream back up. Thank you guys for being here and helping us to take these vapes out one at a time. Get revenge on these vapes. Moving through them pretty quick. We've gotten at least 10 or 12 so far. Let's keep moving. Yeah, all right. Getting another one. Moving through them quicker and quicker. Yeah. Got them. All right, another one. Where's the next one at? We're going to try this one. Hey, we got it. Hard fought road, but we got it. New type unlocked. Easy game achieved. Moving forward. All right, because now we're starting to get to where the only ones left are ones that are going to be tougher, but nonetheless still certainly possible. Let's see. Let's try this one. All right. Dang, this one is going to be a little tougher, but let's see how we do with it. This one's weird because it already looks like it's cracked up. I don't know. What's this one? Oh, this one looks like it's going to be easy for sure. Let's try this one. Yeah, there we go. Gross, but we got it. And continuing on, what about this one? Ooh, back up a little bit, and viewers, I see 5 viewers, 8 likes. Thank you guys for being here. Ooh, let's see. Let's see who is jumping in. Oh, Tiffany said, AP, I noticed your partner is never on the streams. Is that a personal choice? Is she sick or something like that? She's not sick or something. I appreciate you asking. A lot of it happens to be just her preference not to be on stream. In general, she likes to not be on video. She is a more private person. She's someone who is supportive of Aeternia and supportive of particularly the YouTube channel because I'm her partner. I think she enjoys doing stuff in Aeternia and she enjoys helping the nation, but she's not a like on-camera style person. It's just not her preference. So anytime she is on camera, know that it is taking a lot out of her, and that I am incredibly grateful for that. She is a rock star in every sense of the word. The other thing, she generally is spending a lot of time doing her own stuff. Like while I'm having these goof-off adventures, and they're goof-off adventures, but they're also helping us to develop the nation. She is getting a PhD, so in engineering. So while I am actively working on this stuff, she's having whole other worlds of adventures doing her PhD work. So that is an incredibly tough thing to do on top of everything else that we do. And so a lot of the time, if you don't see that, if you don't see her here, she's either enjoying her time, getting some downtime, or she's working on stuff for her PhD. So that's a good question, James. Thank you for asking. Tiffany is amazing for all the stuff that she does do and all the time that she is on camera, despite probably not wanting to be on camera. Also, I will say one of the sad things about that, Tiffany was getting more excited about being on streams. Not to the point that she like loved it or anything, but she was getting more into it. And people were like mean to her in the comments. Like people were making like inappropriate sexist comments. And it kind of threw her out of it even more, which like really upsets me because Tiffany's awesome. She's an absolute sweetheart and doesn't deserve any of that. Nobody really deserves it, but that does get me worked up a little bit. She was like starting to get into doing the like live streams at Vape, and people made some like really nasty, inappropriate comments, and it bothered her. It bothered her for a while. Not cool at all. So that it may be another reason why you don't see Tiffany on streams for a while. She just, I think, is having her own stuff that she has to do, and also has like legitimate reasons for not being as interested in joining the streams anymore. If some of the community, again, maybe, you know, out of 1,000 people that watch, maybe one person will comment something nasty, but that can get under a person's skin. I, after years and years of it, have been kind of numb to it, I guess, but I know that that's not the normal response. So definitely, if you guys see Tiffany on stream, encourage her, be nice to her, and consider that, you know, the people that you watch online are humans that are on the other side of a screen. And so when you say something wild to them, they may not return, unfortunately. Oh, goodness. Okay. So I'm trying to get this one out, and I got it out a weird way, so now I'm just kind of struggling with it. But we're going to see what we can do to make that struggle a little easier. Let's see if we can't fix that up. It almost seems like I could cut it, but I don't want to like puncture a battery in here. Yeah. Okay. I'm going to see if I can't just use this to pull it straight out. Let's see. Okay, well, that worked. See if I can get down here. Gross. Pull the rest of this thing out. Nope. Just breaking it into pieces. Okay, there we go. And throw all the gross junk away. And keep moving. Let me go jump into the comments, see what everybody's saying here. 6 viewers, great to see. Let me see something. Okay. Ooh, agreed. James says, some people are just nasty, rude, without social graces. They hide behind their screens and think there's no consequences to their actions. It's vile. Agreed. It sucks. Thank you, James, for your support. Thank you, Syrup, for your support as well. I saw your comment saying they're 5-year-olds. Yeah, it's just, it's immaturity, regardless of the age. And you're right, James, there's no excuse behind age. Now, real quick, because this does filter the air and it makes it hard for me to breathe through, I'm going to take a break from the mask for a minute. I do need to put one back on to continue, but I may do 1 or 2 without it. Stretching the limits of safety. You absolutely should not do that in your own lives. That being the case, yeah, I did just want to talk to you guys, tell you that I appreciate you. Also show you that there's probably a weird ring around my face. Yeah, look at that. Crazy. Goodness. That being the case, I do appreciate everybody being here and supporting. You know, helping us to continue to build our dream, helping us to push forward, and make Aeternia a reality, something that each of us, whether it's me, whether it's Tiffany, whether it's James, can put their ideas into and make a reality and say, hey, this is a community that cares about our ideas and who we are and wants to support those things. It means a lot, and we hope to be able to do more and more as we continue to facilitate that and to provide benefits to the people who have helped us out and watched the channel for so long, and you know, who have ideas and great interests in helping us to grow. So you guys are very much appreciated, and hopefully one day to be rewarded for all of that with better content and also with potentially cool community stuff that we do. We're getting closer and closer to that every year. As we develop Vape, we want to get people out there. We want to have tourism out there, so there will be future opportunities for that, I'm certain, as we do more events, but also plenty of stuff online will be hosted as well as we move forward. This thing is weird. Yeah, so much easier to go that way. Okay. So, that being the case, thank you guys for hopping in the streams. Thank you guys for making this a part of your routine. Also, we are coming up on big like channel achievements. I haven't talked too much about this, but one of the last, in fact, maybe the last live stream at Vape that we had, it was really cool because it was a like 10,000 something viewer live stream, which is huge for our channel, much, much larger than any of our average live streams do.
And so it was an incredible boost for our channel views, as well as our watch time. And that helps us to get toward monetization a lot quicker. So what we're trying to do now is trying to make that number consistent. Again, getting like 10,000 something views boosted our channel to, maybe like 16, 17,000 views in a month, which is awesome. And so what we're trying to do right now is we're about to be a week past, excuse me, I said in the last month. Yeah, so we're about to be a couple days into the month that it like resets and we get below that 10,000. So that 10,000 is going to go away for our month. And we're real close to getting just an additional 10,000. So just from you guys being a part of these streams, these like smaller ones, you guys can help us to achieve like stability. So like if that was like a big moonshot goal for us to get that level of a stream off, if we can just do other smaller videos that are more consistent, that get us that same value, I mean, wow, that will help us to get to monetization. That'll help us to get to a lot more support. That'll hopefully help us to get more Patreon support as well, to get you guys cooler stuff out there. And so it's big. It's big. Like just hanging out in these live streams, doing stuff with us, like these crazy adventures, really, really does help a bunch. So I am grateful for that. And I want you guys to know it. You're helping us to exceed our expectations, push our goals when it comes to growing this channel. And when it comes to growing the nation, in symbiosis with that, in connection with that. So let me, goodness, see if I can pull this guy out. Like Vincent, I'm sure is mentioning, like Vincent, goodness, excuse me. Like James, I'm sure is mentioning in the comments, we 100% need to be wearing a mask. And I need to go ahead and do that right now. So you've heard the future song Mask Off. We're going reverse. We're going mask on here in Aeternia. About to rub gross vape juice in my hair. Hopefully I didn't. And here we go, mask back on, official. Hey, 9 viewers, appreciate you guys being here. Crazy mask. Okay, getting back at it. All these vape pens, getting back at it. One at a time, getting back at it. Knocking them out, getting back at it. All right, we're gonna try a new tactic for this one. Give me just 1 second, everybody. I'm gonna try to crack this thing open like an oyster, but probably not gonna work. Okay, going back to attempting whichever ones we think we can get reasonably. All right, let's go for which one? It's a mystery. Not this one. This one probably. Let's try it. Yep, so we got the same setup as this last one. Probably just do that a couple times. Get all of these kind of in the same situation. That way when we figure out one, we can knock the rest of them out real quick. Cool. All right, so now we got 3 that are about like this. Gonna see what we can't do to puncture them. Well, not to puncture them. We don't want to puncture them. To pull out the stuff without puncturing them. Okay, and I see a slight opening. This may be our way in. Let me go over here and brace for impact. We're doing surgery on these geek bars. Absolutely geeking. Oh my goodness, not working. Let's see. I'm going to flip this around to the other side. Hey, we got it. Let me see now. Yeah. Achievements.
able to do a new type of vape pen a little easier. Oh goodness, if I don't throw it and knock down all of our vape pens. All right, let's see how we do here. Pulling this guy off. Nice. Okay, now I need my handy dandy screwdriver again. Got to be real careful. Some of these are a little bit dangerous to work with. In particular, these guys, they have a design that I really don't like. I mean, none of these are good because, again, they're vape pens. But this one in particular has the battery right behind the screen. And so if you try to, like, pull this stuff off, it can become a very big problem very quickly if you puncture that battery. So we are doing, like, vape pen surgery here. And again, if you are not a licensed vape pen surgeon, I do not recommend you attempt this at all. Even if you are, don't do it. Just go into an entirely different profession. Okay. So here we are cracking this guy open. And there we go. Craziness. Absolute calamity out here. So I'm just breaking that guy off right there. All right. For this type, I'm probably just going to have to cut these guys, do a little bit more surgery than I would have liked to, but it's fine. Got it. Add it to our collection. Another vape pen recycled. Goodness. All right. Let's keep going, howdy, how about it? All right, now we know how to do one of those, we can do the rest of them. And that knocks out actually a good number of them. A good number of these are just geek bars, so you should be able to get this. Let me see. Yeah, I got under it again. Yeah, all right. Moving a little quicker than now. Pulled that off. Success. Going for the rest of it. There we go. All right, solid progress. Pulling this guy down. Gonna cut the pieces off that we need to. Slowly getting at them here. There we go. I got one off. And going for two. There we go. Getting them. Adding another one to the collection. And moving forward. 11 viewers, 12 viewers, 9 likes. Thank you guys for liking. Thank you guys for being here. Jake asked, who is this? I am the Emperor AP of the Empire of Aeternia. We are recycling vape pens, these single-use gross vape pens, for a future project. We are also just helping to get them out of the environment, out of landfills, out of gross places where they hurt people's health. And these things, trust, are danger. And I got this one open. Cool deal. And let's keep moving forward with it. Got the plastic off. Going for the rest of it. Got that piece off. See about this weird rubber. Yep. Other part of the plastic case. Go ahead and get that off. Got that off. Cool. All right, got another one. And now you can take over most of those, be able to take them apart pretty quick, pretty easy. So I think that's our next easy mode. That's the next ones we're going for out here. Can we get a little quicker with it? There we go. And now we are continuing. All right, now we're going to cut, and again, moving a lot faster than we were earlier with this type of vape pen. So hopefully that is a good sign for things to come. Maybe we do get through all 200 in the stream. I don't know. But if not, we're certainly moving a lot quicker. All right. We've gotten at least 20 now, getting close to 20, if not over 20. So we are making some good progress. Moving so fast I hadn't even counted. Okay. Prep a few more of these. And keep going. This was trickier than most. Let me flip around to the other side here. There we go. Okay. The grape is apparently the most difficult flavor to get. I don't know if it's grape. It's a purple one. The purple is apparently the worst, hardest one to beat, hardest one to get into, which is kind of cool because we're represented by purple. But nonetheless, here it is. James says, AP, can we codify our anti-derogatory values into law? Well, I don't know if that's necessarily something we should do. I mean, certainly having ideas in place that promote an anti-derogatory nature are important. However, if we codify them into law, then it is easy for other future aeternians to interpret that as a justification for almost anything they want to. Any slander against a government official, anything like that. Any way for trying to like push back against the system could be squashed under, hey, we just don't want you to talk about these things, which can be concerning. So I think if it is something that we deal with within my administration, within my leadership term in Aeternia, I think I would really prefer to have that dealt with on a case-by-case basis and not codify it into law. That is something future generations could use to take advantage of to either seize power or to try to, cause problems for people who disagree with them, which it is real easy to do. I'm not a big proponent of like certain values, and again, being anti-derogatory is important. I just don't want to, I don't want that to be something that comes around to bite us in the butt when the next administration or whoever comes in. Not the best idea. I've been working on this one for a minute. I'm going to go ahead and move on. Yeah. And I'm going to let my mask off for just a second and adjust my filter there. Make sure it stays on tight. And keep working. Yeah, this one was really gross to try and get into. I'm going to set it off to the side. That may be the last one we tackle. Not meaning that's the last one for the stream, but we may come back to that at the end, I should say. See if we can achieve victory over it. Popping out this one for good measure. See if we still got it. Yeah, there we go. All right. Going to try to break into this one like it's Fort Knox. Let's see. All right. It's always close, but no cigar. This is getting to be wild. I mean, absolutely, like right there on the edge of being able to get it and just not being able to. But you know, we Aeternians never give up. And eventually we get it. May not beat our heads into the wall to try and do something. We may have to work on something and then come back to it. But we'll get it eventually, just like this. Okay, so now we pop this plastic piece off. Go for it. And I'll just keep that like that for now. Okay. You know what? I'm feeling confident. I'm going to try and hit the purple one last time. See if we can't get it to work. If we can't, we can't. But I don't know, man. The era of progress. I'm feeling it. I'm going to see if I can't get through this guy here. Whew. Tough. Let's see. We can't keep getting it. Oh, goodness. Okay. Flip it around to the other side. Trying again. Second attempt on this one. Ooh, it's right there. Ooh, I got it. Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. All right. Got that one. Never give up, guys. You'll get it eventually. Whatever that thing is that you want. Never give up. You got it. All right. Because now
Pop it off. Da-da-da-da. Gonna do a little bit of surgery on this guy. Pop this piece off. And now we've condensed it just a little bit. Separate that piece out like that. If any of you guys are from places that eat a lot of seafood, this is kind of what that feels like. Again, do not recommend doing this. These are very unsafe, very bad for your health to be doing this. Particularly dangerous materials. If they bust, if they break, anything like that, it can be a real bad time. Start a fire. It can get, hot lithium on you, which is incredibly dangerous. Burns, really high temperatures. Don't want that. Burns at really high temperatures should say melts at really high temperatures. That would for sure burn your skin. So slowly moving forward. Going to throw my mask back on in just a second, give myself a little bit of breathing time. But hey, at least, I'm getting some protection. I'm getting some coverage. Although I may be negating it by not having the mask on the whole time. And I would recommend that. Again, don't do this at home. But for anybody who feels like at any point they need personal protective equipment, even if you just think you might, go ahead and put it on. It's a lifesaver in general with occupational safety. And in general, and I guess specifically, it will save and protect your life, keep you living a good long time. That being the case, just getting into this one, moving forward, be ripping that piece off. Gonna be doing surgery on this guy. Got that one already. Got that one. Beautiful. And going at it quicker and quicker every time. Awesome. All right, continuing on with another. Can go after some of these in the middle. Okay, got that part. See about this part right here. This part right here, I should say. Okay. Try the other direction for a second. There we go. Very similar to the other type, slight modification on this one. It's got this weird plastic piece that like bends around the whole thing, but not too bad. We're able to get through that one. Now I think we have to pop this edge off, something like that. Okie doke. So working with this guy, trying to get into all the nooks and crannies here. Let's see. There we go. And just about to it. Let's see. We can do about this guy. Yep. All right. And that should come out. Let's see if I'm right about this. Ooh, not quite. I'm missing something. Something is holding this thing on. Something is keeping us from the inside of the vape pen, and I think I know what that is. This little button right here, I think. Just holding us up just a little bit. See if we can't bend this guy back. There we go. See if we can't bend this guy back a little bit. There we go. And ooh, should be able to get this guy out now. Let's try it again. Ooh, close. No cigar. All right. See what we're missing. Maybe on the other side. That looks like it. Okay. There we go. Got it. Okay. Now, these again, a little more lengthy a process than the rest of them, but it's nice because I think it gives a slightly larger battery as well. These are much more resilient, a little harder to get into. Nevertheless, yep, we got it. Okay, I'll just leave that like that for the moment. Keep moving through them. Throw away our trash. And we'll go ahead and check the stream, see how you guys are doing right now. 8 viewers, 10 likes. Thank you guys for being here. Thank you guys for helping the channel, keeping the stream growing. If you do like what we're doing, you haven't liked, please go ahead and do that. It will help tremendously. Now, for safety, throwing the mask back on and getting in there. Let me go ahead and check what my battery life is. 48%. Thank you guys for being here. Okay. Ooh. Jumping in. Pulling my hair out from behind this thing. Alrighty then. Getting back after it. Let's see about this guy. This one's a metal one. Already looks like it's trying to act tough on me. And sure enough it is. It will not open up that way. Let's try this way. Nope. Oh goodness. And one of my filters popped off because I was being too aggressive. Gotta fix that. Filter back on. Audio good. Let me know if I'm still sounding all right to you guys. And we got our clamps back, our pliers. Let's see if we can pop this guy off. Continue our streak. There we go. Trash. Let's get this one open. Keep moving forward. Applying some pressure. Gonna get under there. Through the plastic. Yep. Got it. Amazing. Let me go ahead and pull that guy off. We'll go ahead and go through there. Pull this guy off and back at it with snipping the wires. And piece de resistance. Got it. Another one bites the dust. Do. And another one bites the dust. And we get demonetized, but we're not monetized yet, so it doesn't matter. But if you guys want to help us get to monetization, you can definitely subscribe, like the video, do all those good things, and help us to build the empire as I bust through these vape pens.
Awesome. Got through that one. Let's open it up. And I have been contaminated. I will show you guys in just a moment. But my glove has busted, so I need to put on a new glove to continue some semblance of having personal protective equipment and trying to be safe at least. Let's see what I can do here. So first, let me finish this one, knock it out, and then I will repair and replace my personal protective equipment. My little glovies. All right. Out of here with that one, another one completed. And with the biggest injury I've ever sustained in my life, we're going to be replacing a glove. Yeah. Oh, it's stuck. Oh, gosh, it's stuck to the screen. Oh, gosh. Okay, putting a new one on. Not going to work. I have a mask on. Perfect. And gross hands to boot right now because I've been opening vape pens for the last hour and a half almost. Ugh. Oh gosh. That was not a good time. Okay, abort. We're going to try to fix this. Ugh. Oh goodness. Okay, there we go. Ugh. Hey. Still gross because I have real sweaty hands. Not going to work out great. Going to try to slowly but surely wiggle this glove on. Just enough to establish some personal protective equipment. James says, AP, will the Imperial note be printed in the future to serve as a functional currency? And I busted my other glove. Astounding. Okay. I will answer your question as I repair my personal protective equipment and get my hair out of here. Awesome. Let me dry off my hand while I answer. So the Imperial note, we have previous videos on our economy that I can send to you, James, that talk about this in more detail. But what our plan is to turn our currency into a local currency, meaning not just established here in the Empire of Aeternia, which people can use, will be able to use going forward to purchase items in the Empire of Aeternia. But more specifically, and this glove's going on a lot better, we're actually going to get it registered as a local currency with the federal government. There are ways that you can do that you can issue your own banknotes. And the way you do that is you actually register them as a, I forget exactly what the term is, but there's a registration that you can do with the federal government to do that. It's a similar thing that things like cryptocurrencies use for their regulation. It won't be functioning as a cryptocurrency in any way, but it will be an actual, banknote that is served as, record keeping for our empire, and which we can eventually go once we're registered and bring to local businesses and say, hey, if you will give people, a certain special discount or special perk or something for using this this currency in your business, then we can establish a local network of people who are interested in trading this currency and can do so legally through us. And that way we can set it up to where more and more people have access to it, and therefore the currency becomes more valuable. It also helps little local mom and pop shops who otherwise would get beat out by places like Walmart to have a locked-in customer base who is incentivized to purchase from them because they get this special bonus for having this currency that they've acquired by, say, helping their neighbors out with something, or by, say, helping the shop out with something and trading something in. It creates a more stable, localized economy, and that's something that multiple different studies have attributed to and shown progress with local currencies. So that's what we're eventually going to do. We're trying to save up enough money. I think it's the total process is maybe like $10,000, something like that, between all the paperwork, the filing fees,
getting legal representation to make sure that you can adequately do it. Estimates range, I think, between like $10,000 and $15,000 for the full process, and that's for a small setup. So that would be what we would want to do. We want to go ahead and get licensed and move forward. As of right now, we've been having it as a way to support the empire, but eventually we will set it up as straight up something to be established locally. James asked, will it be fiat or backed by something? Fiat backed currencies are gross. They're a problem. That's not beneficial, particularly in modern economies. People say, oh, if you back it with something, it helps to give it like a stable value or whatever. No, money is something inherently that we have made up as a society. Even when you back it with something, you're just attributing the, again, grand general concept of worth to something that's value can fluctuate as supply and demand changes. So you can do the same thing just with a direct fiat currency, and it is backed on the faith of the institution that establishes it. The benefit there is that, if you were to back it with something like gold, then you have to acquire a ton of this resource that you could be using for other things. If I have a ton of gold, I can sell it to chip manufacturers. I can sell it to people who make, any kind of semiconductors, any kind of, plating for like optics and electronics and different stuff. There's so many different opportunities to use a valuable resource like gold that can actually directly contribute to our economy instead of just storing it in a vault and saying, in case anybody's upset with our currency, this is the backup. It's just not as functional, not as reasonable in a modern economy. You want to have assets that can assist to give validation to the backing by your government, but the faith should ultimately be in the institution that develops it. The institution itself should be worth a lot by having things like assets, by having things like large market control. But that being the case, fiat currency is the way to go every day in a modern economy. And so long as you're reasonable with it and you don't print a bunch of money out of nowhere, that is what we are going with, and that should be the most stable thing to do. And especially the quickest growing. So, continuing to move forward, but that is a great question, James. I would be excited to show you more about that in the future. Oh, gosh, golly goodness. There, got into it. All right, there we go. Got in. Let me fix these little parts. But James, solid question about the economy. We have a set of videos called Micronational Economics. And the most recent one, I think it's like 4.5 or something like that, or 3.5. It talks about what we are trying to do specifically with establishing our currency as a local currency. We talk about in other micronational economics, like fiats versus backed currencies. We have a bunch of different videos on that. I recommend watching that series. I think we have a playlist that includes all of it. If you guys want to go and check that out and learn specifically more about our economy and about that aspect of our nation. The Empire of Aeternia. Okay, so let me open this up. Let me get this guy ready. Pop one in there if I can. Let's see. Dang it, this pink is also giving me a run for my money. The pink and the purple were both
absolutely tough as nails to try to get through here. Oh my goodness. Yeah, there we go. Nevertheless, we make it happen here. Okay. We got this one going in. Bam! Oh, I thought I was going to have it. I thought it was going to be a show off. Let's see. Bam, bam. Got the whole thing out. All right. Let me pull, well, I won't do that. Let me go in the right way. Actually try to pull off these tabs. Okay. Oh, dropping gross vape juice. Let's see. Pop that guy off, doing good. I'll just throw this whole thing in there for now, I guess. Making some semblance of progress and continuing forward. I mean, we have severely reduced the number of vape pens. We have processed a good amount at this point and got the grossest part out of the way. In a second, I will show you guys our bounty for how much we've gotten so far, and then I'll check the comments. Going back at it with the blue. Oh yeah, blue's easy game. Blue's easy. Blue sucks, man. You got blue quick. Let's see. Okay. See if we can get the rest of it out pretty quick, pretty efficiently. Oh yeah, blue's done for. Blue is cooked. Okay, let's see. And there we go. Got blue done. Pulling it off. Oh goodness. The battery in blue stuck into it. See if we can find a way to get it out. There we go. Yep, just took a little wiggling. Okay. And we cut our wires here. Just like that, snip, snip. And we got that one knocked out as well. Okay, continuing forward. I guess we will do these guys. Oh, I said I was going to check the comments. Let me check the comments for you guys. 20 viewers, 10 likes. Thank you guys for being here. Ooh, these are great questions, James. James asking a lot of stuff. Okay. James asked, how will land ownership work within Decay? I imagine we will be using leaseholds, but could someone with enough money buy a plot of land and build there? It's okay. Okay, it's supposed to be for people with nowhere else to go, but surely there are some basis for people to develop their own plot so the state doesn't have to. That's a great question. And no, that wouldn't actually be the setup.
That's a great question, James. But we do want there to not be land ownership in Vitae, really in the Empire of Aeternia period. One of the videos that we put out not too long ago talks about that. Well, I say one of the videos we put out. One of the updates to the Guide of Foundation and Principles talks about that. It is effectively saying that our mission as the Empire of Aeternia is to try to acquisition land, to try to get as much of it as we can under our control. That way we can provide it to our citizens as a base standard for quality of life. So that means that we should not be encouraging our citizens to seek out their own land. If you do, if you have enough money to purchase a plot of land outside of the Empire of Aeternia, that's certainly great. But you cannot own land in the Empire of Aeternia. The idea is we want our citizens to put their money and time and effort into developing themselves. So that being running businesses, trying to develop other assets, trying to market and position yourself so that you are an influential figure, not only in our society, but in the world. And so that being the case, if you don't ever have to pay anything for rent or housing, utilities, eventually, that's the dream. So that way people can move forward with other more important aspects of their lives. That being, again, just a base expectation for all citizens of Aeternia. Now, that doesn't mean tomorrow we can start out and say, hey, we're going to give you a free house with plumbing, electricity, and food, and everything paid for and everything taken care of. However, what we are trying to do is to start with developing small pieces of infrastructure on Vitae. The first one is this kind of experimental dwelling, this first dwelling we're working with. And what that does, in particular, is lets us store things out there. As we move forward, we want to have running water out there that we're going to get by effectively building a big cistern, by building a big, like a water tower, effectively, to be able to run water down, and then supplementing that with a pump, an actual electric pump, that will be able to pump water, either one, when our reservoir gets low enough that the pressure isn't high enough to be able to facilitate it there, or even if we have to store some of our water at ground level or even below ground level, we can use extra electricity to pump that water to different pieces of our infrastructure. Now, because our infrastructure is going to be below ground, which is a whole other aspect of developing in Vitae, we will be having a little bit of benefit in that the higher that we put our cistern, our water tower, the easier it will be for us to get higher pressure water below ground in our structures, in our dwellings. But the other benefit, the other thing that we are looking to do in continuation with plumbing and things, the underground situation will make plumbing harder, actually, because that means we want to use septic tanks, and wherever our building structure is, our septic tank needs to be significantly below that. So that will be an avenue to look into as well. Off track. This is significantly trying to circle back to James' ultimate question, which is, how do we get there? How do we get from where Aeternia and specifically Vitae, our capital, is at, to how we end up achieving this society in which people don't have to actually pay rent? Well, the basic structure for that is by having a functional position in the empire. So as of right now, we can't have anybody live out at Vitae for two big reasons. The first one, the primary one, being that you are not able to live there. There's not enough resources. There's not enough water, power, even shelter to have people stay out there, let alone food. However, as we move forward and we start to acquire some of those things in a very small amount, building one dwelling that's successful and safe and habitable for somebody, at that point, we want to have that person planned out and scheduled, and we want to specifically go through a recruiting process for that person, where we actually filter out a lot of candidates to get the ideal person for this, explaining to them that it's kind of experimental. It is our first resident at Vitae. It'll be our first person who's living there. And we want that person to already have a job. So we want what I mean by that, we want that person to have a job within the empire, something that in exchange for them living at Vitae, they have something that we need them to do full time that will take care of those things. So what we would do is, instead of charging them rent, we would have probably just a lower salary for them than they would conventionally get for the role, and instead, provide them with things like housing and utilities up to that point. That prevents the biggest thing, which is, because the Empire of Aeternia is a micronation, we are within the United States. And so therefore, one way or the other, if we have people live on the property, they have rights, and we have to not only respect those rights, but we need to try and further those rights as a micronation, trying to improve the lives of our citizens. But that being the case, we also want to protect the state itself. We want to protect the government and make sure that the people who are taking on the challenge of becoming residents are people who have the best intentions and the vision of Aeternia in their minds as they commit to that. If it ever becomes something where our views differ, then it is easy for those people to pack up and leave and move from Vape or from the rest of Aeternia if they see fit, because they will have had very little cost of living expenses while they are in their stay. However, if we, for example, allow people to own land then in the Empire of Aeternia and Vape, then we can make it really easy for them to make the development at Vape more difficult, either by selling their pieces of land, subdividing the land, potentially having subletters, other people who are attempting to rent the properties. All of those things are things that we could try to subvert by creating effectively an HOA, which is a homeowners association here in the United States, where we say, hey, you can purchase a home here, but only if you follow our rules, and if you sell it, you have to do these things. But even still, there are ways around them. Not only that, I particularly don't like HOAs, and I don't think a lot of people who are in HOA communities really like HOAs. And so I don't want Aeternia to become a big HOA. I want people who are residents of Aeternia to feel the benefits of being an Aeternian, and specifically to be trying to live a different form of life. So we really don't want to encourage things like private land ownership. It's just not within our best interest, and ultimately we think in the best interest of our citizens. We want people to be able to build their assets, and then if they want to purchase land in the United States to own as their home, and they want to still be a citizen of Aeternia but just not a resident, that is perfectly okay. But we want people who want housing, who want stable living situations, but who don't necessarily want to be competing in higher and higher purchasing land prices in the housing market, so to speak, to actually be trying to become residents of the empire. We want people who reject that, and people who are saying, hey, the system of trying to sell people homes, things that are necessities for them, and ever increasing those prices, whether through forcing them, the majority of them to be rentals, as is the case now, and in general just jacking up the price of private land ownership, it's ridiculous. It's near criminal. So instead of doing that, instead of encouraging our citizens to go through the housing market, we want to be able to afford them homes simply by the value they bring to Aeternia. And that won't be everybody. We're not saying, hey, we'll be able to open up and have 1,000 people come in, and we know how to process each and every one of them. It's going to be a slow, gradual process on a case-by-case basis where the best fit get in. And it is truly going to be a valuable experience. It is something that we are investing a great deal in each one of the people who become residents at Vape. And so those people will have a high standard to uphold, but will also be the closest people to our empire, the people who are truly making it go from an international movement of people desiring to be a state to something that is tried and true, and you can look at and say that is where the Empire of Aeternia is, that's its capital territory of Vape. Those are the people that live there. Those are the people who help deal with tourism and with foreign diplomacy visits and things like that. There's a different caliber of citizen, and a group of people we need desperately to continue to validate and legitimize our state. While I do this one, I'm going to go ahead and answer some comments, because I'm sure there's a bunch that have jumped in. Let's see, James asked, what about infrastructure? Will we have a central power plant? How will we put in plumbing? Or will we be localized to panels set up at each house? Who will run the plants? We would like to have a general power plant, although because we will have different territories set up in different areas, that may be a little more difficult. A little easier said than done, I should say. That being the case, what we will probably do is set up a main plant as a reserve, having the attempt be for each individual settlement, each individual territory, as I should say, to be self-sufficient as far as power for the most part, having the large power station be one run for the largest territory, but also as a reserve in case there are any difficulties or issues with the power at individual territories. So if we have, a large power outage in one of our territories, but the rest of them don't, being able to create and build large battery banks that are already charged, that are already set up at this massive power station, that are able to be brought in for, a day or two's worth of power for the territory to be able to run emergency things that they need. To be able to say, hey, we're working on getting things back online, but, if we're out of power for a week, you guys need to be able to have your water run and your, be able to cook your food and, run your medical equipment and things like that. We need to be able to have a solid setup for that. But as well, I think what we will do is have a dual setup where we're primarily working on trying to stay off the grid with those solar panels and things like that, but then having each individual territory also hooked up to local electricity, just in the effort not to use that. So, we have these solar setups, potentially, wind and hydro setups if the different territories allow for those things or have strong that works with the natural environment of a territory. We'll work that in. As many renewable resources as we can. If for whatever reason the power goes out and we have to rely on the grid, we will activate that. We'll hook up to the grid, let people run their power off of that, and also try to supplement it with emergency sources of power that we would have from a larger power station. Again, fantastical thinking for right now. That's significantly far away, but you may notice we are collecting lots and lots of batteries. This is something that will play a great role in that in the future, in our energy independence. And we will be making more videos about that soon. There is already one video in which we've created a battery pack out of these lithium-ion batteries and have used that. So you can go and check that out on the channel as well. And it's a very small battery, but it serves a purpose and shows how we can grow with something like 200. Queen Bougie says, AP, to piggyback off of what James is asking, I think the best way for Vitae to earn money is for AP to act as landlord, maybe buy into banknotes to found the rest of the development. Great idea, Queen Bougie. We are absolutely opposed to landlords here. We really do not like landlords. Again, the renting process, I feel like, is kind of a problem. And we actually do have a video talking about why we believe landlords are evil, why we don't think people should be landlords. James says, wouldn't a low rent encourage people to do things to help? Without any rent, there's no real reason to do anything to coast by. But a small rent means there's upkeep people need to work to maintain. So you're right. Just because we have no rent doesn't mean there is no expectation. We will have, say, for example, monthly check-ins with our citizens. And if we don't feel like they are up to the caliber that we want for the people who are in our community, if we set up Vitae and we say, hey, there are a maximum of 15 spots in Vitae. You have to meet certain criteria in order to be a resident of Vitae, and you have to be able to consistently upkeep with your job and do the things that you need to be a part of the community. So if for whatever reason somebody is deciding, hey, I'm just not going to do stuff, and we don't, we see there's a decline there, we may say, hey, all right, that being the case, your evaluation has not worked out. We're gonna fill your spot. We will need you to move out within the month or so, and have that be something that is a part of that deal. There is no rent, but that being the case, you have more free time, either to get another job, to be able to stimulate our economy if you so chose, an external job, or more what we would appreciate is hiring and recruiting people who are actually able to be hired directly onto our services and trying to expand what we are doing. The development of the territories is an expansion of our efforts doing stuff like this. So where we get to the point where we have a territory to run and people to oversee as residents of that territory, we would like them to be working for us, and we would like our capabilities to be to the point that we can maintain that level of a society where we're also able to maintain that level of a business. That wouldn't be at the point where we are at now, where we have a very small economy. We would have to, prior to that, earn a lot more money and develop an industry that is a lot more beneficial to having consistent employees and citizens constantly out at Vape doing things, either directly at the territory or for another external business that we run in the local community. And that would be the jam. That would be the idea. Again, one of the things I recommend, if you guys haven't checked it out, you should check out the Guide of Foundation and Principles. It is our idea book. It is our guide that drives the foundation of our nation. Let's see. Queen Bougie says, correct, James. Travel Boy says, will your micronation give our recognition? We are the kingdom of Ugal Flagellonia. Great to see you. You can certainly apply for an alliance with the Empire of Aeternia. However, our empire is one that recognizes all micronations. So no need for that. James says hello. Jane says hello from Sweden. Hey, great to see you. Thank you so much for supporting us. Bimba says, what are you guys doing? Taking apart a ton of vape pens here. A ton of vape pens. Let's see. James says, feel free to join the Discord and send me a DM. We will see about recognition. Depends on your development, ideology, and the decision of the Emperor. Great to see you. Thank you, James, for getting in further contact. Queen Bougie says, hello, Sweden. I just sent your Nobel Prize. Oh, goodness. I just seen your Nobel Prize very grand, beautiful event. Everyone says, hey, P, I know I said I wouldn't be able to join, but I just got to my girlfriend's house, able to stop by for a minute. Thank you so much for joining, Whitewood. It means a lot. James says, AP, do you have any updates on the Imperial Southern Territory? Yes, I do. I have mentioned this a few times on stream already, but I do need to make an official video about it. As of the past year or so, we do not have a Southern Territory anymore. It's probably still on the map, but I should delete it if I haven't deleted it already. If somebody can double check for me and let me know whether it's still there or not, I will go back and delete it. But my father originally lived in the southern part of the state and now lives up here with us, both one, just to be closer to each other, and two, for medical purposes. So we had a previous establishment there in the southern part of the state, which gave us certain benefits, certain access to, for example, the ocean, which was nice. But at the same time, we are increasing our density, strength in numbers and what have you. We're able to do a lot more now that we actually have owned property here in the north part of the state of Alabama. Our southern territory was a rented property, and so certainly had some value able to be used, but not something that we could really claim as 100% ours. And now with the purchase of Vape a couple years ago, we have consolidated and been able to say, hey, we've actually increased the standard for what it takes for something to be an imperial territory. So the Southern Territory, unfortunately, is no more. However, our Northern Territory has likewise grown in its value and in its claim. It is something that can be more seriously claimed because it is something that we 100% outright own. We're not paying a mortgage on it. All we're doing is paying taxes on it to the local government. So, that being the case, a lot more beneficial for us. Let me go ahead and keep cracking at these while I keep answering the chat. Let's see. 9 viewers, 14 likes. Thank you guys for being here. Bimba said, I have a question. As an electrical engineer, it seems significantly rational to utilize more set-in-stone foundational perspectives, like maybe, for example, 12-volt lights. I saw your lights before. Bimba, thank you for bringing that up. That is a great point. Yes, absolutely. Trying to utilize 12-volt lights. That is what we used previously. We used like string lights, which I think were 12 volts. That's what we're going to be doing. We are going to be making these battery banks, as you know, as an electrical engineer. Lithium-ion batteries are 3.7 volts. So you can chain what is that? 3 of them into about 15 volts. Excuse me, 4 of them into about 15 volts. So that being the case, when you set that up, you have a little bit more voltage than you need. You can set in a circuit to keep it steady at 12, and then run all sorts of stuff. From there, we would get an inverter, you know, like for a lot of solar setups, where you take that 12-volt DC, turn it to 120 at an output. Again, much lower amperage value there, but being able to actually utilize it for home appliances. If we get, you know, for example, we set these up into 100 watt-hour battery banks, and we can start getting, you know, 10, 20, 30 of these battery banks. We start getting into the ability to run a home for emergencies, for significant amounts of time. So that is the strategy here. Absolutely. We aren't looking as much right now into sources for using the batteries, you know, how we can apply them, because they are so generally applicable. You know, if you have any kind of a solar setup, you can, as long as you make these things 12 volts or 24 volts or something compatible, you know, some solar setups even get into the 30s, 50 volts, something like that. But you can take these and you can organize them in any such way that you want to connect into anyone's solar system. So, you know, widely universally applicable. As we get the battery banks developed, it will be easy to make them, you know, modular enough that we can just kind of plug and play however we need to with any sort of setup that we're looking to do as we find applications for it. But again, you know, not on too big a hunt for applications, because we have kind of an initial setup we're going with. Again, making these into these large 12-volt banks and then inverting it to look more like household power. But that is the dream. We are still a significant distance from that. But thank you so much for your comment. It is great to see an electrical engineer here. It's great to see somebody bringing up and giving us good advice for how to improve our setup. If you can continue to watch and continue to give us ideas for improvement, it would mean a great deal. You know, we obviously don't know everything, and so teaching us is the best way to help us. Okay, so let's see. Queen Bougie says, LOL, landlords are evil. Thank you, Queen Bougie. I appreciate it. Nimba says, specifically using vape batteries, which left me questioning the utility, which thus arising the speculation of electrical burnout. However, note, I think this idea is definitely cohesive. I appreciate it. Thank you. Yes, absolutely. So each one of these, you know, little tiny vape batteries are for sure going to be easy to burn out. You know, you can easily overload these, but that's why when you build these banks, you have to, one, run them at a lower voltage than whatever, you know, the max charging voltage is set up at. You know, you're going to have your operating voltage be significantly lower. The other thing that you're going to have to consider is that we need to make these banks really, really big. You know, lots of parallel connections for these batteries, so that way no one battery is getting strained too severely. Of course, you know, the larger a system we get, the more likely it is that one of them burns out or a few of them burn out. But we can design systems, you know, battery management systems to more easily monitor that. Although, you know, we're for sure going to run into some issues. I think you're right. You know, the burnout of these batteries, the overloading of the batteries, will be something we have to deal with more and more as we grow in size and, you know, load capacity, what we're actually trying to run these things, what we're trying to get these things to run. But I think we should be able to steadily improve. Let's see. But thank you. We do have the check mark of semi-approval from an electrical engineer. Again, weird method for generating power, or I guess storing power, but I think functional. Definitely something that has some practical purpose and some benefit. Though you're right, Bimba. Every project like this is going to come with a host of problems, especially when you aren't dealing with products that have been designed for the application you are using them for. Let's see. See if we can get into red. Red's also giving us a little bit of difficulty here. Not liking that we're pushing it to its limits, but let's see if we can figure it out anyway. Maybe not. This may be one for the back burner. Uh-oh. Let's see. Oh, goodness. Yeah. I don't want to waste too much time on this one. Not working out. Okay. Check a couple more comments, and then we're going to keep pushing. James says, AP, will there be currency reform to prevent counterfeiting and improving durability? Oh, absolutely. One of the biggest ways of doing that is actually setting up a digital monitoring system, effectively having ways that, excuse me, going to drink a little coffee for a second. Setting up ways that our currency can be monitored such that, your ability to purchase or transact our currency will be digital. So even though you may have the physical cash in hand, when applying, working with that cash, you'll have to, deal with somebody who already has an account set up, or effectively an account, some way for us to monitor how many notes they have. So that way, when you give somebody physical notes, you also send a digital copy of that transaction between your accounts. Now, if for whatever reason you don't do this, then the person who receives those notes, when they go to cash them in somewhere, we will check their account, and the merchant will check their account and say, hey, you have none available. These are counterfeit. So we will have to get a good system in place to have people actively, encouraged to develop these accounts and to use them with the understanding that they need to have those transactions filed in order to properly use the currency. But then, yes, as well, we will try to create some physical anti-counterfeiting measures on the currency itself. Although I think in the modern age, the best way to try and prevent that is through digital record-keeping services. So, it's just so convenient with everybody having a phone and with things like tap to pay with QR codes, stuff like that. People can very easily pull up their accounts, access them, and work with them. Even if they're offline, you can, if you have somebody keeping a record of their transactions and another keeping a record of their transactions, you have two copies of the transaction, and therefore, even if my phone is offline and I pay for something, and my account on my phone updates that, and I'm not connected to the internet, hopefully the merchant or whoever made the money from my transaction will have connected and will upload, hey, we have this transaction between us and this other individual, this other account. And that way, when the second account does come online and does update, there is an approval of that transaction. Again, I am not a programmer in the slightest. I am not somebody who is an expert economist or anything like that. So, excuse me, definitely let me know your ideas for improvement there and ways to round out that system. But I do think that's a relatively safe way for us to get started on a small scale with the currency. As we get larger, of course, we'll have to implement more safeguards and think about additional ways that people could hack or cause problems with the system. But the biggest thing that we need to be watching for, which I think this does achieve, is people just outright counterfeiting or people like very easily cheating each other. And this way, you know, the safeguard is if for whatever reason a transaction is sketchy, it just by default is non-legitimate. You have to go through a process, which may be a little annoying for people using the service on a small scale, especially as scales get larger, I should say. But nonetheless prevents that issue of this runaway, oh, people can just, you know, scam the currency and scam the market that the currency uses. Let me see if I can pop this one up and answer another question. Getting close, but no cigar. Let's see. Ooh. Okay, goodness. Yeah, orange is not working with me. All right. Gonna go for maybe one or two more, and then let me check what time it is. I'll probably have to call it. Let's see. 2:58. Yeah, we're getting close. We're getting close. Maybe a couple more minutes, and then we are pulling the plug. But thank you guys for being here as well. You know, again, helping us. Just a few people being in the stream each time gives us a ton of support. And then, of course, you know, when we get up to, I think earlier we were up to something like 20 viewers at one point. That is incredible. And that really helps us to get our watch time up. As well as our view count. Again, trying to hit that 10,000 or so. For the month, we are slowly climbing up there. Oh gosh, both of them. This is certainly not PPE. This is not OSHA approved. Okay. Let me put these guys back on, if I can. Not working. All right. Let me put my mask back together, and we will get on with it. There we go. Got one. Got, oop, almost. Oop. Got the second one. All right. Hair moved. Mask back on. Surviving the vape juice somehow, miraculously. All right. Let's get one or two more. All right. Yeah, there we go. Get under this one. I will talk to the comments as I do it. Okay, Whiteman said gotta go. Nice to stop by. Agreed, nice to see you, Whiteman. Bimba says great. I would definitely get the voltage amplification circuit, which does simplify, amplify voltage even with low voltage input. Bimba says it's in parallel in series, yes. T-Bet said, what are you doing? Recycling vape pens, T-Bet.
saving humanity from single-use plastic and vape pens. Number says, definitely, I would love to give you a suggestion. One question of burnout, I would definitely recommend a set of resistors with distinguished values into the starting voltage input. Good idea. S Drinks Electronics says, are those vapes? What the fuck? They sure are vapes. They are. Hey, great to see everybody. Queen Bridget says, AP, please notify Brown Palace when you're ready for the micronational flower garden. Hey, thank you so much. I sure will. This is something that we're getting very close to. In general, the Garden of Nations is something that we are going to be doing, again this year, and we'll start probably around March. So, Queen Bougie, if you are interested in getting into the Garden of Nations, we already have the Draconian Empire who is going to be investing this year in the Garden of Nations. So we will be providing them with a flag in the garden, and they will be providing us with some monetary compensation, as well as, I believe, some seeds potentially. And then the same thing with other nations that we are looking for support from. So your nation, and in particular, Mecklenburg can be a part of that. We would love to have Brown's Palace support us in that endeavor. As well, it'll be helpful for our local community. People will be able to take advantage of that and reap the benefits of a micronation. So let's see. Do maybe 1, 2 more, and then call it there. Have these things exploding every which way. All right. Let's get this one. See how quickly we can crack it open. There we go. Now I'm going to do a slightly unconventional method. None of this has been super conventional, but you know what I mean. I'm going to take this guy and I'm going to actually mash it with my foot because it has been aching my hand a little bit to keep doing it with just my hand. So I'm going to see if my foot doesn't work to add some pressure to this guy. Oh yeah, sure does. Should have been doing that from the beginning. Oh gosh, let me make sure I didn't turn off the mic. Nope, okay. Doing good. Got this guy open. We continue to pop the back out of it. There we go. Yep. And we have this guy. Bam. Bam. Just cut these wires off. Bam. Bam. Okay, there we go. Another one bites the dust. No. Okay, so for now, I think we're going to pick up the rest of these vape pens, and I will show you guys
what our haul is for today. I'll compare the amount of batteries we just collected to the amount of batteries we have right now, not including the big battery bank we made that Bimba saw as well. We're not going to discuss some of the other batteries that we have made into projects. Okay, Queen Bougie says, AP, do you think I could commission some of your handmade badges you made for Ambassador James, but in Mecklenburg's flag? I'd love some, but of course we can discuss business privately. Of course, that sounds wonderful. If you can let me know, we can certainly try to come up with something for you. Please send me an email about it so I remember, and we can set something up for sure. I will say there will probably need to be a minimum order quantity because it does take so much for us to be able to produce them. Being able to have you guys order in bulk would help us a lot, so that we know we're getting a good amount of value per the labor that we put in, and as well materials we have to purchase. Having to purchase specific color strings and things are a little tough. That being the case, can be tough on the wallet if we're making like one patch. That being the case, let's go ahead and pick these guys up. We will continue. Another point, again, hundreds of vape pens in the future. I'm sure we will have even more vape pens, but for now, we're going to collect all of them. Then I'm going to show you guys how much we have, try to calculate a value for the amount of electricity that we can run with, and move forward. So, throwing these guys together. Trying to collect them all in one bag may not work. May have to go for an even larger bag, but we shall see. I don't know if I can just dump them either. I was like, oh, maybe I can just kind of have them all dump into the bag. I think that might be worse, actually. I think this is probably about our best bet. Just grabbing them up as quick as we can, throwing them in here, dealing with the damage as we go. All right. We have downsized a good little bit, though. We have made a good bit of progress with these batteries and these vape pens. Let me see if I can jump to another bag for the rest of them. And then we will go ahead and do our grand finale, totaling these things up, looking at what we have as far as additional value to the Empire. What assets, just today's work that you've been a part of here on the stream, has helped for our Empire. And also thank you for 16 likes. If you guys do want to help the video out, the more that you like it, the more that YouTube after the fact will get it out to people and share it with people. So it can be an incredible, incredible help for us. Let me go ahead and finish this up, not to turn my back on you guys, but just to finish sweeping the rest of these up. In fact, I might just step over to this side so that I can get started with the tally since I'm already over here. All right. Finish throwing these guys in. Bam. Drop one right here. Okay. So those are finished vape pens. Or those are our still to be done vape pens, I should say. Let me throw away all the trash. And now let's count up what we have. So this is what we did on this stream thus far. Let's go ahead and count them out. We got 1, 2, 3, all right there. Got 4, 5, got 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, goodness, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39. Wow, we did a bunch of them. 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45,
getting close to the end. 46, 47, 48. Oh, snap. 49, 50, 51, 52. Just a little bit over 50. That is awesome. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to imagine that all of these are 2.41 watt hours. That's not exact. However, that's pretty close. The ones that are about this size are 2.41 watt hours. So taking that as an average is a pretty decent estimate. So sorry for the wait, everybody. I just wanted to do that calculation. 2.41 watt hours times 50 is over 120 watt hours. And again, it's like 120.5, I think. That is just for this stream. We got an additional 120 watt hours, which granted, a home, and the average home in the United States, uses around 33,000 watt hours, kilowatt hours per day. So big amount. We're a lot smaller than that, but we achieved 120 watt hours, small fraction of it, but still 120 watt hours in this one stream that we have just now as a usable part of our nation. Of course, we need to finish refining them and put them into a battery bank, but this is enough to make over 100 watt hour battery bank and a fifth of another one. So this is incredible. Again, this is just what we have done on stream. So think 120.5 plus. I'm going to continue to count for the rest of these. In fact, I'll go ahead and put these up so that way I know what we have and I can continue the calculation. Go ahead and put these, separate them out again, and then keep moving on. So again, you guys just being here, just helping out in this stream have significantly boosted our ability to run lights independently of a power grid. Now, of course, we need more solar panels, which always helps. The more people buy stuff from us, the more people utilize things like our Patreon, the more that we are able to grow. And conversely, the more we are able to spend on our needs, such as improving our solar panel bank, which will mean that we can charge up these batteries quicker and utilize more of our power more regularly. Again, if we had 30 kilowatt hours, roughly enough to run a house for one day, but we don't have the solar capacity to charge up within a year, it's not worth it to have that size of bank. I mean, it will be if you can really let it charge, but you'll only get a fraction of your power out by the time you need power stored by the time you need to use it. So 52 batteries, over 120 watt hours in this bag just for today's stream. And then last time I compiled some of these, last couple times Tiffany and I had done it, compiled some of these batteries. So let's count how many we did. That's 1, goodness, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20 through the first row. 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. Oh gosh, sticking to the bag. 27, 28, 29, 30, gosh, 30, 31, 32,
33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, oh gosh, 39, and then that'll make 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, gosh, 59, 60, oh man, I tore a big hole in my bag, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69, and that it? That is it. 70. Wow, okay. 70 batteries in this one, 52 in the other one. So that is 122 batteries. Again, that was 120.5 watt hours in this one. So let's average and see how that works. Okay, and we're back. Sorry about that, everyone. To give the grand total, 122 batteries. Sorry, as soon as I looked at it, I forgot. 122 of these batteries averaged at 2.41 watt hours gives us 294.02 watt hours, almost 300 watch hours. Goodness, I'm thinking about YouTube stuff. Watt hours for our battery bank. And again, that's just between this stream and the last time off stream that we took apart these batteries. Again, that is a lot. 300 watt hours, which we are almost to, is 1% of what you need to run a house for an entire day. So we can run a significant number of emergency resources necessary right now for one small family. That is power. You know, we can run lights in this room for a significant amount of time, for hours. We can run, if we need to, enough voltage to charge our phones for hours. We can get, maybe 50, 80, 100 charges out of these batteries for things like our phones. We can run things like larger equipment. Again, that's going to be about how we deal with power and how the load works out on these batteries. But we could run even larger things. A very small portable, laundry system, things like a washer and dryer, which are normally very, very energy consuming. But if we got a high efficiency one, if we got one that's only meant to wash a few clothes, we could do stuff like that. Those are like normal modern assets that we could do. We could run a TV. We could run Wi-Fi off of that. Those are low power things we could easily run. We can run computers off of that. We can run, a shower with a pump, a mechanical pump that we have running, that we could do that. We could run a hot water heater with something like this. This is plenty of power to get us started and to move forward. So what we need right now is we need more solar panels to be able to charge these batteries more, and we need to be able to collect additional batteries. Again, we still have so many more. This is just from this amount that we have collected. We still have, oh gosh, as I spill them everywhere. We still have this many more to go through, plus the 14 that I just spilled on the ground. So we have a bunch to go. We have a lot to do, and we are constantly improving here in the Empire of Aeternia. Her Majesty Queen Bougie says, that's amazing. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. And again, we are coming to you to continue to advance the Empire of Aeternia, to provide a higher quality life for all citizens, for all people who call themselves Imperials. And until next time, unite the invisible, achieve the impossible, Aeternia forever. See you guys soon. Thank you for watching. And again, Queen Bougie, please reach out to me. I'd love to talk to you about future business endeavors, things like that as well. Until next time, guys, please subscribe. If you're not already subscribed, please support us. Please share these videos with people you think would like them. See you guys next time.